Hey, what's up? Here at the world's famous arena. Got to talk about this trade. Um, 60-40 on it in favor of it. I'm going to miss Julius dearly. I'm going to miss DiVincenzo just about as much, even though he was here a year. I think the nail in the coffin for Julius was when he kind of lashed out after that fan had showed the pictures on IG where his jersey wasn't shown, and he just immediately just went to the net and just went full nuclear on the Knicks, and they had to kind of say, no, your jerseys was to the side, Julius, we support you. And I think at that point Knicks management was probably like, you know what, this guy is volatile. He has a short fuse. He's working on it, but it's always going to be there. And then just the playoff, just him not performing in the playoffs, man. It's not his fault. Last year he was hurt, and the year before. But Julius just hasn't come through. You just never know if a guy's just stake bit with just, not coming up big in the playoffs. But listen, Julius was one of the first to come here. He believed in us as a franchise when others were like KD and all these other guys were scared to death. I will always salute and support Julius Randle, despite his knucklehead stuff, despite his apple turnovers, like the great Walt Clyde Frazier says, despite all of his bonehead plays and his mental meltdowns. At the end of the day, I'm always going to support Julius Randle because he loved New York. He wanted to retire a Knick. It didn't happen, unfortunately, and I'm going to miss him dearly. I'm going to miss DiVincenzo. He did a great job in that year he was here. I wanted him to be a part of the core, but they wouldn't budge. Timberwolves wouldn't budge on it, according to reports, so it is what it is. Listen, Towns, not for nothing, Towns played great defense in the playoffs on Durant and on Jokic. He has defensive ability. People forget. They don't look at Towns' defensive stats throughout. This man got blocks. This man at one point averaged a block and a steal a game earlier in his career. So he would stuff the stat sheet, man. Like, Cat is that guy if he's locked in and if he's focused. And in my opinion, he doesn't have to man the paint with Gobert anymore. Gobert took up too much of his real estate. It was a stupid trade. It got him. What can I say? It got him to the Western Conference Finals, but you were not getting the best Cat that you could get. So, long story short, we'll see what happens. I'm still 60-40 on it. I'm in favor of it. The Knicks needed a center. They could not have Julius place part-time center and Precious, and I think that's why the Knicks were holding out signing any of these journeyman guys to fill in. They really wanted a legit center. And the way this is set up now, starting lineup of Brunson, Josh Hart, Bridges, OG, and Towns, that's an excellent lineup. That lineup does a little bit of everything. They rebound, they defend, they can score, they can shoot threes, they can move the ball because Josh Hart is like an extra point guard out there. So I'm very excited to see what happens. Now they just gotta, and the funny thing is, a lot of these guys they picked up like Morris and Shemet and Cameron Payne and a lot of, as well as Deuce, who really, that bench is really Deuce. But the other ancillary pieces that they picked up for this offseason to kind of, giving them on contracts to see if they can make the team. And it's going to be fun to see how they bench shapes out, man, the Knicks, and what they do with that. They still have that exception, too, so that mid-level exception. So it's going to be fun to see how they round things out, but it's a bold move. It's a daring move. It hurts a bit. I listen, I know a lot of people love to hate on Julius, but, I was at the Sacramento Kings game where Julius went berserk and got kicked out of the game. But luckily they stayed on to win, me and my son. But I'm going to miss him for what he brought to this team. and the fact he believed in us and stuck by us and wanted to be here when nobody else wanted him to be here. So that's it. That's it. And that's it. And let's go Knicks, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right? Till then, I'll be talking about it a little bit later. All right? Let's go Knicks.